Cinderella is one of those timeless stories that all of us has at least heard of, as it has been passed down through the centuries. Disney produced the most famous versions, however there are at least 24 adaptations of this classic tale. Even though I'm a huge fan of Cinderella and enjoy most of the film adaptations of the story, I have limited myself to comparing only 2 Disney versions. The 2 I have chosen to compare are the 2 versions that stick close to the original fairy tale rather than the more modern adaptations. Cinderella is the second princess that Walt Disney created a film for in 1950, making her a part of the original Disney princess lineup. Following the typical Disney precedent, this movie came alive with a creative original soundtrack. As a character, Cinderella is very gentle and kind by nature, which makes it all the worse to see such an innocent soul tortured and mistreated by those closest to her. We all know Cinderella lost both of her parents and was forced to reside with her evil stepmother and 2 stepsisters. In regards to her treatment, most people would not remain in her situation, most less endure the abuse with a kind and forgiving heart. Not only was she kind to those who tortured her, she maintained her optimistic attitude and remained ever hopeful that she would know true happiness and perhaps even love one day. Considering that this film is in fact an animation in the 1950s, Walt did not have the means necessary to spend loads of time on Cinderella's background. Therefore, we don't know why she is the way she is and how she came to be that way. I personally didn't care that much that she was slightly undeveloped as a credible character because I have grown up with the story since infancy. As children, I think we are more prone to accept characters as being purely good with no reason whatsoever to be that way. However, as we grow up and are tainted by the world we live in, we require more explanations. In 2015, Disney decided to re-adapt the story of Cinderella in live-action form. Though it still remains a story directed towards children, the character is much more developed. In this version, we learn that Ella's mother instilled most of the positive qualities that the character still holds on to even after her mother is no longer with her. She is taught at a young age to have courage and be kind, as the phrase is repeated to her often.
Have courage and be kind, my darling.
Her beliefs and values are all implemented from her mother's philosophies, which give Ella a sense of closeness to her mother even after she has passed away. These are the very teachings that keep Ella strong even in her darkest moments. Because we are given this background information, Ella is more rounded as a character and we are able to relate to her as a plausible human being. In the new version, we witness the purity of Ella's character as she is able to extend mercy and forgiveness to those who treat her as a slave.
They treat me as well as they are able.
She also has more of a backbone in that she has opinions and morals that she stands unwaveringly beside, giving her character more strength.
Just because it's what's done doesn't mean it's what should be done.
The original Cinderella has a rather whimsical delivery in regards to content, and even though the whimsical quality is present in this version as well, the narrator makes it clear that Ella is only human and begins to feel insecure in herself as she is relentlessly abused verbally and emotionally.
Cinderella. Names have power, like magic spells. And of a sudden, it seemed to her that her stepmother and stepsisters had indeed transformed her into merely a creature of ash and toil.
The ending serves as a powerful lesson by explaining the courage it takes for Ella to be herself despite the possibility of being rejected by the one person she truly loves, the prince. This differs some from the typical happily ever after with no questions asked.
The greatest risk that any of us will take, to be seen as we truly are.
Cinderella is a character that has developed me in my early childhood years, and I think that the more recent Disney version of this classic tale does the character justice by personifying her on a deeper level while still maintaining her as a symbol of inspiration.
I forgive you.